What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to take you through some of the things that I'm doing to make sure I can stay on track. As I've talked about in multiple videos now, I'm trying to lose about 5 kg of body fat so that I can go into a push-up phase or a bulk. However, I'm not happy with my weight at the moment. It's kind of fluctuating a wee bit more than what I'd like, and on top of that I haven't been staying 100% on plan. And this could be for multiple things, just because of how aggressive my diet was. And this could be down to a couple of things, maybe because of how aggressive my diet was during my prep. It could also be I'm not as mentally strong as what I was, or maybe I just don't have it in me at the moment to do that. However, it is the 1st of November today, and things are going to change. For the next 30 days, I'm going to commit myself to eating everything on my plan, doing 45 minutes of cardio daily, including Sundays when I would have taken a day off. And on top of that as well, I'm just going to stay true to what I've said, because I know in the space of a month I can pull off at least 3 kg minimum. So if you haven't already, please be sure to share and subscribe, and sit back, relax and enjoy the video. The first thing that I do on a daily basis every morning when I get up is I take my supplements. The 3 supplements that I take are some electrolytes, vitamin C and vitamin D. From living in Belfast, we don't get much sunlight, and because I'm up so early, that's the reason why I'm taking my vitamin C. However, my electrolytes, because I do sweat a lot from the extra cardio that I do, that's why I'm taking that, just to make sure I don't get enough cramps. Along with this, I'm going to be drinking 5 litres of water a day to make sure I can keep myself full throughout the day. And I'm going to make sure to track all this just to make sure that I can get on track, because I don't want to be in this diet phase any longer than I need to be. And I've already been in it for about 2 months since I came back from my holidays. So these are going to be 3 things that I'm going to do in the morning by taking these with a pint of water, and then just taking these on the side. And that means I've already got a litre out of the day, because I'll take a pint of water, as I was saying, with each tablet that I take in the mornings. One of the most important things for me is to utilise my water intake that I have for the day around meal timings. Before, I've been snacking a little bit when I get a little bit hungry, but I need to be prepared like 30 minutes before. So if I know that I'm going to have a busy day and work the next day, I'm going to need to meal prep the night before, just to make my life a lot easier. I am doing some meal prep now, which I'll show you once it's finished, but I am going to make sure that I'm going to make this my priority this week, just to make all the difference in the world. Another thing that I'm going to add into my diet is probably more Monster. For the past couple of months, I've been trying to reduce my intake as much as possible so that I'm not dependent on them. However, because I'm going to be pushing my calories a little bit more extreme going forward now, these are going to be a way in which I can suppress my appetite a little bit more. They also taste great. And as you know by now, I love Monsters. So this is just an easy way I can get a quick fix every day and just basically subdue some of those cravings that I might have throughout the day to eat some shit that I shouldn't be eating. More food is being prepared here now to keep me going and keeping me on top for the next few days. So with the amount of veg that I have in here, this should do me for about 3 days. And over in the air fryer here, we also have 3 days of potatoes cut into chips, which will keep me going. And we also have turkey burgers here now to have as my next meal. So we're just staying on top of things and trying to remain as consistent as possible with everything. We're currently on 7:30 in the evening, and we have 2 meals here. We have chicken and veg, as it is a non-training day, so no carbs. And then we have some fruit, yogurt and some honey on the top. So I need to get this into me. We have 1 more meal, so it'll probably be a little bit rushed for digestion. Steps are done for the day. We're on 17,000. So we're finally getting there with the meals. But again, we need to keep pushing, and obviously you'll see more prep in a minute or 2. But that's definitely helping with getting the food in today and then staying ahead for the next few days. That's the plan going forward. So every 3 days or so, I'll be meal prepping my food, so that I can stay on top of everything that I'm doing, making sure that we can get 3.5 kilo off over the next month. So basically every 10 days we're looking to lose 1 kilo, which should be very doable. Alright, so here's a little bit of an idea of how I'm going to be basically following things going forward to make sure that I can stay in the right mindset and making sure that I'm staying consistent as possible. So starting from the top, the meal times I'm going to be having roughly are going to be 8:30 a.m, 11:30 to 11:45, 3 p.m, 6 p.m, and 8:15. So this basically works around my day. So breakfast, meal one, around 8:30 in the morning. My pre-workout on training days around 11:30, 11:45 for training at 1 o'clock. I would normally train for about 2 hours. So by the time I'm done, normally around 1, so normally by the time I'm finished eating this meal, I'll be in the gym for 1. I do like to have an hour at least, usually for digestion. This helps me out so much more going forwards, and it just means that I'm not going into the gym feeling sluggish. So once I'm finished my training and cardio, it's normally around 3 o'clock, and it's time for my post-workout meal, which is normally a form of chicken or turkey burgers along with plenty of carbs. So more often than not, this is usually my chicken, veg and rice meal that I would normally have. And then depending if I'm working late in the gym, I'll either have my next meal at 6 o'clock in the gym, or I will come home in between that time and have it, just depending on how the day is working. Normally for my dinner then, it'll be the other option. So if it's not the chicken, it'll be the turkey burgers and potato meal that I'm normally going to be having around that stage. And that's just a nice, quick, convenient way to get things done, because all I'm having to do is cook a different protein source. And then before bed, snacks and things like that there are normally consisting of my yogurt bowls. So it's normally a nice and easy way to get my food in for the day, and following this makes it easier. With every meal, as you can see, there's 5 of them. I try to have at least a pint of water with each one. So by having a pint of water, that's 2.5 litres. That's my total intake, halved already for the day. So if I'm having 2.5 litres and I have another 1.5 litres of water, then I'm already on 4 litres for the day. And of course, with the breakfast, I'm having those 2 pints already, so that puts me on 1 litre. I'm always very close to hitting my target for the day in regards to the water that I'm looking to achieve. Doing this here makes me feel fuller as well, and it just makes my life a lot easier. Doing this just means that there's no thinking about it, and everything is planned out and sorted for when and as I need it. So by having this kind of schedule here, it makes my life a lot easier, because I'm then going to know exactly when I'm going to be eating, what times I'm going to be eating, and there's just no guessing. By doing this yourselves as well, it means that when you know you're going to be eating at the same time every day, you can build those habits and routines that you need to make progress. And if you're not doing it, then you're not going to be able to make the progress. So it's much easier when you have something like this here. For me, I'm actually kind of sticking something that I used to eat when I was in school. Now the times are off slightly, but again, this was something that was very beneficial to me back then, giving me that sort of routine, and I've kind of went back to a little bit more. If I was to increase meals in, then I would probably put a meal time in between somewhere 3 and 6. That would probably be where I would do it, because that is kind of like the biggest gap that I have during the day, apart from obviously the training meal pre-workout. But again, that's because I'm going to train, so I'm not really going to be wanting to eat too much before that. The only other option as well is eating earlier in the day, but again, we'll come to that issue when we get there. The main goal right now is getting off this body fat, and that's what I'm going to be prioritizing. And for me, this is going to be the best way to do it. So therefore, I will follow this for the next number of weeks, and I will keep you updated on the progress of how things are going and any changes that are made within my nutrition plan as well. From the last part of the video, I do hope you can actually take something away from it, because for me, following this and not understanding over previous years, it has allowed me to make the changes that I've needed to and stay on track, and also remove any cravings that I have then, and sticking to these times. I then know when I'm going to be eating food, and can then prepare for things like certain eventualities, like I might be hungry, I might not be able to eat at a certain time. And by having then the meal prep food that I'm going to have, it just prevents me from going into the cupboard and eating things that I shouldn't do. Doing this for yourselves as well, you will notice just your mood and skin just clearing up massively. I've noticed it over the years from doing all my diets and cuts, and when I say it works, it really does work. So anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to share and subscribe, and I really do appreciate it. I've been seeing the views on these videos coming up a lot recently, and it does mean the world to me. Just make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 500 subscribers, so we're going in the right direction, getting towards 1,000, but we got to keep pushing in the meantime anyway. So yeah, look, if you have any more questions, stick them down in the comments, but I will see you in the next video for a full day of eating. So until then, goodbye.